This is a very, very important issue for me to discuss, because in a previous video here, really quickly I have to fix this stuff, because this is how quickly you get into you know, I just don't want to walk around with this shit in my head, basically talking about Božičnik, talking about a scumbag who stopped me in front of the semaphore located at basically in front of the Eurospin Žabje Vas in Novo Mesto at the semaphore light. We're making illegal right turn. This is the guy who ongoingly will come inside of the house with his mentors, with Zaješek, Stefanic, investigators and so on. He would keep coming here with these police officers, and I stated that he went and he investigated. He did claim me during MK Ultra that the incident did not took place at a place known as Hell or Pekel. They made me walk the area which I indicated, talking about the police. But here is the interesting part about this
Today
stuff.
I will be doing
This is an interesting part. This is going to be update on this issue here, which I was very clear about 2021. I wanted to make sure that this car assassination plot, I have proven one to be car assassination plot, literally through the company in Slovenia known as Sava, where Milan Kučan used to deliver me. The tires that was sold to me were sold Sava tires produced in that company. It's also the company where I used to have shares, stocks. I don't want that somebody's not going to understand me properly about this stuff here. This is a scum inside in here, in this place here. This is a scum. This is not a police station. This is a scum. These are the murderers, assassins, killers. Interesting about it is, when Božičnik joined this, when they took him as a part of the team, he started to question the incident, this incident here. And it appears to me that he was bragging enough about this stuff so that they would take him to investigate this location, literally where the car incident, where the car plot, assassination plot took place. They did. Now, this comes in two parts. One part is this thing here. This is for the place which I indicated in the video as place known as Hell, Pekel near Trebnje. It comes in two pieces. This is how fucked up this stuff is. This is how fucked up this stuff is. Now you're gonna see what police is doing. They will admit this stuff. They absolutely are going to admit this stuff. Yeah, that's that. That's a location right here that you see. That's a pond right there where I would go fishing. This is not from my city. This is located from the Novo Mesto, where I'm from. This is just a location that I did go to, foremost because of my father. My father was going to fishing to that location. And so, because my father was fishing at that location, then I started to go fishing at that location. This is how this stuff is. I don't actually even see where. Well, probably about like this, something like that. So this is about 25 kilometers away from here. In no fucking way would I found that place in my life if this is where my father would not deliver me. Also with other fishermen, his friends, they would go here fishing to this place. And that's how I went all by myself, also on fishing trip in 2007. After the incident took place, just as I explained in this video right here, just as I explained in the video, I explain all about also about the video, about what took place in respect to this incident. No, this is actually in the part number 1. And that's where you're gonna have me say that I don't know actually where the incident took place. We're gonna get to that. In 2007, when this incident took place, in 2007, it wasn't only my neighbors. They drove all the way to the Trebnje to investigate the crime. It was even Americans, Central Intelligence Agency and Federal Bureau Investigation who visited the location of the incident where the incident took place, where I changed the tire, and it took place lightning fast, just as I described here. So you can imagine entire police with the Milan Kuchan. I later found myself even walking with the Milan Kuchan with Gregor Golovic, with Robert Golop in the area, with Borut Pahar. Everybody rushed to that place to see, to learn about that place. So the words to me, sometimes in maybe 2016 or something, 2017, the Božičnik, I don't even know if he was a police officer back then, on how he investigated, on how with Zaješek and others who met me at the police station in 2024, how they went and investigated and so on, and they couldn't find. He demonstrated, he browsed the map just like I do right now in front of you. It was actually just the way I did right here on the video that you see me, that I go through these areas here. About boy, that's just fucking crazy. That's just fucking insane. This is what is known as roadblocks. Under MK Ultra, they do the stuff like this for you to make a statement that makes obsolete previous completely obsolete, or places them in doubt previous statements that you have made in respect to whatever issue. Do you understand me? This kind of stuff is also used to terrorize, to scare people away from subjected to torture, from pursuing certain things that happen to them, fully exploit them for potential of, to report about the crime, about really what took place. And this is what Božičnik became really good. That extremely young police officer, but extremely rotten. There's absolutely no doubt that Stefanic, the funny man, passed him along absolutely all the information, previous information concerning my case. Because this was one of the main things Stefanic worked his life, and his entire life was based on my case. Meeting him at the police station in 2024, he claimed he never met me, he doesn't know anything about me, etc., etc. Together with the rest of the team. Know nothing about what MK Ultra is, and so on. So, saying to me in 2016 or 2017, 2016 it was exactly, between 2015 and 2016, that's about, I'm going to put it this way, 9 years after the incident took place, that place might have not even be in hell, and I don't even know where that location is, and etc., 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 etc. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It sounds like this stuff here that I wrote about and described one completely in details about where exactly it took place, and this did not even happen in 2021. When this incident took place, I threw the whole thing on the internet. I had enough of it, because it was based on MK Ultra scenario too. That's another issue. And this was just assassination, way too fucking evident to ignore. Too many coincidences, in other words, played in this assassination scenario, with literally ambulance vehicle waiting on me at the place of behind the first curve of this incident, with literally neighbor physician coming at, I don't know what time it was, between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, 9:30 whatever, at home. 2 minutes, 3 minutes after I arrived home, he came from direction of the city where I came from. That's just, listen, just too many issues, too many crazy stuff, too many crazy things to, you understand? It just doesn't make fucking sense to be silent about it anymore, because this is how evident this assassination was assassination. During MK Ultra, the tires that they were on the car, they were demonstrating them to me. Police demonstrated, neighbors demonstrated those tires to me. Those tires were even slashed. They were not, I didn't even go to the car anymore. I parked the fucking car inside of the garage, and the car was sleeping inside of the garage, basically inside. This is the way it was. The tire which I have used during the accident that took place was actually the tire from Firestone, which those tires are new tires from United States of America, Firestone tires. I didn't have 20,000 miles. I don't know how many miles did I have when I changed the tires in Slovenia as soon as because I was driving the truck. I was a truck driver over the road. I wasn't even using the car. The car just was purchased new, and the car just sat on the lot. And so I don't even know how many kilometers the car had when I brought one to Slovenia. I don't know if the car had 20,000 miles. I don't know how many miles did the car have. And it's pretty much when I replaced the tires, new tires, practically new tires, with brand new tires from Sava company, recommended to me, is the best tires for this car. That would be it. And one of the tires that I had from the Firestone, I kept that tire to myself in case of, if I have some kind of incident. Instead of having that small spare tire inside of the car, I decided to have a decent tire inside of the car. The old tire, I said, I'd rather have that tire than a small tire. So I asked the mechanic to mount me, a Firestone tire on the place one in the trunk. As far as other tires that were mounted on the car, all worn out, fucked up tires, when I came home, that stuff just, I don't know where the fuck that stuff popped up from. I wasn't using any of it. And I wasn't gonna challenge this issue on it because I knew it was a police. The reason why I did not return to this location in Trebnje, in this place, to go and investigate about what went on. I was so traumatized from this shit, because this stuff happened to me in the evening hours. It clearly, evidently was assassination attempt. You don't understand what it means to float on the road. Float. Skate. No, actually skid. I don't know how you say that, but when you have no traction control whatsoever, and this isn't for 10 meters or 20 meters. I slowed on the road for quite some time before slowly I was applying brakes. And every time I applied the fucking brakes, the car just went fucking sideways. I was losing control over it. This shit went so bad that you can imagine that you slow down the car enough so that you can twist the steering wheel rapidly, so that you make like what would be similar to the U-turn type of maneuver that allows you the car to apply maximum traction, turning itself, spinning itself around on the road before it actually stops itself. Because there was no brakes worked, but the car, the tires, it just fucking flew. It flew on the road. It had absolutely no traction. And a little bit further this shit would go over the cliff. Bye-bye. I would not be there no more. It is just as simple as this. So it's very important that you understand Novo Mesto Police, Ministry of Interior, with the politicians, even with Americans, investigated this crime thoroughly, acquainted itself with this crime. Without no fucking doubt, in 2007, immediately after the crime took place, I was thrown again on MK Ultra. I left the door unlocked. Always I had a door unlocked. And again, the same shit went on. That's the first thing to establish. Then in 2015, 2016, I should say, Božičnik appeared here inside of our house and started to hallucinate that he investigated and he couldn't find anything like this where there would be any clip that would be dangerous and so on and so forth. Fuck is dangerous. Very dangerous place. Very dangerous place. If I would not apply all the knowledge I gained through ACDL driver license for the trucks, for the tractor trailer drivers, even applied a pedal to add a little bit to the traction so that I would not, the car was just totally out of control, had absolutely no traction, you understand? Completely. And this was not for 1 second or 2 seconds, like it happens sometimes that it skids, but okay, you find the way to get back on the track. No sir, this car was just going left and right, back and forth, without, not back and forth, but left and right, without absolutely for some time any kind of way to stop the car, because the road was painted with oil, and because the traction of my tires, there were no fucking traction. When I stopped the car at this location at Trebnje, the tires were old tires. The tires were without the traction. So clearly this was not a place where you would want to do anything else other than sit inside of the car if you can and continue to drive toward Novo Mesto. I had no idea how big this thing was, how many people was implicated in this stuff, what could have happened if I would requested assistance and so on and so forth. So I left. I did not even report the incident to the police station, just so much that you know how bad this stuff was. And I never would return to this place. I would not even look at on the map about this fucking place. That's very important to notice this stuff, so that's not going to be here, as I stated, that it was that Božičnik was, yes, he expressed a great interest in knowing about this incident, where this incident was, and so on and so forth, and then claimed me in front of my mom, in front of my father. He doubted about absolutely everything, like I fucking lied about the incident and so on and so forth. This incident was well investigated by the Novo Mesto police, neighbors, with neighbors included, the very next day when the incident took place, just so that you know that. They rushed to the Trebnje. In the Trebnje, they delivered me, days after they delivered me there. Talked to the locals in Trebnje, with locals present, locals, they communicated with the locals. They were asking me, interrogating me during MK Ultra, what happened, where it happened, and so on. So don't go into what your video recorded show here inside in 2016 has nothing to do with what you guys did in 2007. Nobody does the stuff like this other than police. Very, very important. So that's not going to be some kind of misunderstanding, mistakes about, that's not going to be some mistakes, misunderstanding about how it all happened, when it all happened. Here in this video, it's very important stuff I stated here. This is, I just didn't go and see it. My father took me that very same evening to this location because I lost the license plate. With his car, he drove me. and I demonstrated the father in front of the father. I went on the road, and I ran on the road, and just like on the ice, I just fly through with the tennis shoes. The road was still oily, obviously. That's one part. But that second part, the tires, what happened with the tires? Why the tires were simply had no profile on them? That's a completely different story. That's the stuff that is important to me. The tires, and possibly also something else that was done with the tires. Who the fuck knows why the tires were so, why the tires have absolutely no traction. What exactly happened? Why was it that the tires are so without absolutely any traction? That's the stuff that I'd like to know. What happened with the tires? The tires were completely out of traction. You can stop the fucking car like this with the new tires on it and everything. It's, I don't know, 30 kilometers an hour, don't you think so, that you can easily stop the car? Well, in this case, it was impossible thing to stop the car at 30 kilometers an hour. You cannot slow one down more than that. And I started to get afraid that the car is going to go to the motherfucker land. Literally with me over the precipice, if I'm somehow not going to slow the car down enough so that I gain control, so I gain the traction. I did not examine. I was in shock, and foremost I was scared, because I found myself in the middle of the forest, in the forest location, in the evening time. This was MK Ultra location where a lot of torture went on. In this particular location, I was promised I'm going to be cute, literally. When I was in a grammar school, they would deliver me to this location. When I was in a grammar school, they would deliver me to this location. I did explain about the routes the Kuchan had from Novo Mesto to Zagorje, or what, this location here, where I purchased the car. I did explain about that issue. Toward Velenia, I should say, Zidani Most. Toward Velenia. This here was one of the old MK Ultra routes, and as I stated, along this route, you understand that I did, when I went walking to purchase the car, everybody fucking knew me. Every city, every fucking village, every fucking city knew me along this route. I went through this route God knows how many times during MK Ultra. This was one of the routes, hiking routes, they would be using during MK Ultra, with Roma settlements along the way where Milan Kuchan especially loved to stop by. Milan Kuchan need to explain to you, with this scum here inside of this bunker here they need to come out, these cockroaches, and explain about exactly what the fuck they were doing. These people need to come out, and they need to explain about their MK Ultra whereabouts, about the assassination attempts, about the lunacy, about the rituals. This is a fucking murder through the ritual. This is what the ritualism is. I don't know about people sacrificing people during the rituals, drinking their blood and stuff like this. I don't know anything about that, but I know something about brainwashing people on assassination attempts, on murder attempts, and then actually pushing through the scenarios so something bad can happen. I know something little about that. The case that I described is about exactly the case that took place, exactly the way I described this stuff. I know something little about that kind of stuff. These cockroaches here, these cockroaches need to come out, and they need to explain about their whereabouts since my childhood, how it all operated. And when you're going to hear the story from these cockroaches, the way they did this stuff, then you will understand that everything is actually 10,000 times worse than what I have written on the blog. At the parking lot in Trebnje, when I was changing the tire, and when I realized the tires were without the profile, that these were not the tires which I mounted as new on the car. When I did that stuff, I simply knew that this is it in respect to my return to Slovenia, where I spent time again jobless. I knew that this is it. This was the road back to United States of America. This is the way this stuff was. I knew that when this degree of crime took place, not only they don't want me here, but I knew that I will die if I don't go from here. Now the problems at that point in time only started for me. The second problem that police commenced along the way was simply making sure that the parts I paid for, ordered from the Germany, and it was another plot they arranged together with Angela Merkel with the German police. The parts never ever arrived. There was about 500 in euros money stolen from me, with people to whom I paid the parts for threatening to my aunt in Austria and her husband that if I don't send more money there will be problems and such stuff, and with Slovenian police literally protecting them, Slovenian police turning against me, claiming that I am harassing them after they already promised me assistance and even were assuring me that as they work together with the German police, everything is going to be okay. Remember, this is all the stuff that we discussed. I took the scum to the Senat. It's called Senat at the police station, where these cockroaches I demonstrated you are located, and they lost the case against me. And what do you think that happened? They promised me right there, right then, retaliation. During MKH, they demanded from me to understand that there will be retaliation. All the bosses from Novo Mesto police station arrived in our house, and they started to torture also in respect to the lost case against me, a court case, Senat case, which was done here in Novo Mesto police station, in this area right here, above right there. Do you understand what the fuck I'm talking about at all here? This is the stuff we are talking about. This is what went on in 2007. And as I stated, the parts never came, money was never returned, social workers, Slovenian social workers started to harass. They came inside of the house to terrorize me, talk to me about employment, about the jobs, but at the same time making sure that I would not get the job. And I was promised I will be thrown into the psychiatric hospital unless I go out of Slovenia. And that's how I left with the savings, with life savings, back to America, to their American partners, who make sure they would also keep me just as well, also unemployed, which was also the first reason why I left the United States of America in 2006. This is how they operated, my friend. And when you're a small person against such a big apparatus like this, against so much police, against so many hyenas, then you have a little chance to survive. This is the way it was. This is where I'm coming from. This is from the ashes like this, is why I raised myself up. My car, after the incident, was taken back to the Trebnje. They drove my car in the Trebnje. My car was back to the Trebnje, and from Trebnje they drove one back to Novo Mesto. This is what Gregor Golobic is going to explain to you. Milan Kučan, they did this stuff during MKH, that's why. They make the car drivable enough so they could drive all the way to Trebnje and then back to Novo Mesto. And I don't know what the fuck that was about. Just as I have described previously already on the blog, after the incident took place in 2007. That's correct. So they tainted absolutely all the proofs about all the evidence about what the fuck went on. Who did this stuff? For this kind of a stuff, Because Zaješek is a traffic police officer, and Božičnik is a traffic police officer, and Pevec is a traffic police officer. These are different kind of police officers. Investigators do this stuff like this. Investigators were the one who ran initially in 2007 this type of crime. Yeah? All I wanted to do is, I wanted to make clear, crystal clear about the stuff that I mentioned. That stuff is nowhere even near finished for me in respect to this incident. Because it's going to be a lot of people locked up because of this stuff. You can't go do this stuff like this. You can't go out and just fucking jug people and kill people and just subdue them and fuck them and rip them and chop them and whack them. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. I know that this is a police station. I know in America it's the U.S. Justice Department of State and FBI and CIA and so on and so on and so on. But it's got to be somebody out there who sees this shit and understands in English stuff I'm talking about to you. Yeah, eventually in 2008 I escaped from Slovenia back to the United States of America, where social workers started to intimidate, harass, demanded from me to go, and I did report myself to the office for mentally ill people in the city of the Novo Mesto. This here is Goršek and another individual who was here. They demanded from me to go and report myself to this place here. And I did report it myself here because I was without a job. And they demanded from me, either you're going to go and report yourself here, or what's going to happen is we're going to hospitalize you. We're going to throw you into the psychiatric hospital. And there is an office right here. They told me it's called Center for the Socialno Delo. And this is more or less the location. They told me, if you're not going to go report yourself here, and so on and so forth. And I did report myself here. I didn't get nothing other than kicking my ass. I was told, either you go to America or you dead. Do you think that this circumstance are fucking normal after police loses the case against you on the police station? Do you think that this is normal? Do you think that this is the legitimate way, that this is the way it's done with the citizens, with American citizens and with the citizens of the European Union, that this is the way it's supposed to be, that this is the civilized way? Good luck to you with it. It's very important for me that you understand what took place. I did not mention about this stuff, about this Centro za Socialno Delo, where they were using Roma people for torture and stuff like this, before they even opened one at this location. This is Slovenia. We're talking about the Slovenia, that's right.